Okay, well, I'm not too sure what I'm actually gonna be titling this. Not too sure. I wasn't really planning on recording this either, but I feel like now is probably the best time. If there was ever a time, it would probably be now. To talk a little bit, just a little bit, about the Casagrandes. I have just finished. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but I have just finished watching the series. It is done. It is over. It is surreal. It's still, it's kind of like, what did I make that video? Probably like March, right? I would say I made that video back in March. It was around there, I think. Still hasn't really hit. Um, I wasn't like emotional. I would definitely say that Amphibia was definitely much more of an emotional, thing of having to let go and all that other stuff. But this show was special. I wanted to give a sort of send off to it because I did enjoy whatever I watched as the final few episodes. I did enjoy whatever I watched, and it's something that I really can't really say for modern day Loud House as much as the Casagrandes was, and that's probably one of the most tragic things about losing this show. A lot of people always talk like, oh, the Casagrandes is the exact same show as the Loud House. It does the exact same things. They're clones of each other. All that. Some might even say it's probably one of the worst spin-offs they've ever seen. Stuff like that. Like it just, I get it from a perspective of like an outsider, especially someone who isn't into the Loud House or the Casa. I get it. I totally get it. But the Casagrandes to me was always, yes, it is the exact same show in a lot of ways. The same exact art style, the same exact writers, staff, and directors who worked on the first few seasons of The Loud House. But notice what I just said right there. The same people who worked on the first few seasons of The Loud House. Where is The Loud House right now? In a decline, correct? Where was Loud House before? I would honestly say a lot of people thought The Loud House was a modern accomplishment in animation. Oh my god, how much praise for the show there was at first. Oh my god, are you kidding me? People were saying stuff like, the 90s are back, Nickelodeon is back, oh my god, it's popular and it's not SpongeBob. Or it is SpongeBob, it's the new SpongeBob, you know what I mean? That's the thing, like, I like this show. I love this show, in fact. Sure, it had some dud moments. I think of Meal Ticket. I think of Undivided Attention. Even a little bit Karate Chops, but even then, I don't think that episode was that bad. But there were some duds, especially the ones I just watched. There were some duds. But any show is going to have those. Amphibia. I just talked about Amphibia. That's not a perfect show either. It's a masterpiece, but it's not a perfect show. Hell, nothing is. But ultimately what I'm trying to say is basically that, yeah, the Casagrandes, on the surface, yes, it is the exact same show. On the surface. But I don't know why, it just feels different. There's something about it that just has this weird aura around it that makes it feel different. I don't know why. On the surface, it's the same exact show. The same exact art style, some of the exact same characters. But it's somehow more than what that original show was. I mean, there's literally an episode, and I was going to review all these episodes just one by one. But there was a certain episode, Silent Fight, I think it was. We're literally halfway through the episode, as the title suggests, silent. Something that the Loud House did for like a joke, but not for 6, 5, hell, I think it might have even been 7 minutes. That's what I'm saying. That's what makes this stand out to me. Is that the Casagrandes did things that the Loud House wouldn't even dare trying. I mean, in the Casagrandes, you get the type of episodes where it's like, oh, here's another Luna episode where it's going to be an emotional one with a bunch of music. Sometimes, yeah. You gotta have the Carlota episode. You gotta have the Carl and Sergio episode. But a lot of the times, man, I don't know. You know how, like, the Loud House kind of feels like that whole cliche? Where it's like, here's another Lola episode. Here's another Lisa, another Luann, or another Lori episode, even. Or another Lincoln Friend Group episode, if you're one of those people. No offense, we can all have our own opinions. That's not what I'm saying. But I hope you see what I mean. Like the things with the Carl and Sergio episodes, or like the Carlota episodes even. Undivided Attention. That is a Carlota episode. The one that she just had, oh, for the life of me, I can't remember it. It's the one where, like, she learns that she's, like, a basketball prodigy. That was a good episode. I enjoyed that episode. I normally don't like those episodes. I enjoyed that one. Something I really can't say too often for, like, a Loud House episode. It's hard to watch a Luna episode with, like, an emotional backstory with music after seeing really loud music. Like, nothing's gonna top that. Why even try? You know what I mean? But the funniest thing happens with the Casagrandes is that they top it. It's almost as if they actually get it. They understand what a good story could be. They don't try to push the cliche buttons. They don't try to make an episode just by saying, okay, let's have Carlota do this, or let's have Carl and Sergio do this. And more often than not, it would be something that they've done already in a prior episode. Like, Silent Fight was literally about Carl and CJ. That alone is interesting. Because honestly, I can't think of another episode where it was focused on them. I'm really, really, honestly, truthfully trying to think. I don't think there was ever an episode that was focused on them. Like, primarily. I think a lot of the things of the whole criticisms with this show stemmed from whenever the show first came out, whenever it was focusing on Ronnie Ann. I love the Ronnie Ann centric episodes, by the way. In season 1, all of it was basically focused on Ronnie Ann. Pretty much majority of the episodes were focused on Ronnie Ann. Then season 2 started to kind of experiment. You know, you got episodes with Carl, you got episodes with Carlota. I think there was a Bobby episode probably in there at some point. Even some newer characters, and more of the same, really, for Season 3. I would say if you were one of those people, if you're interested, I'm not saying that you need to go and do something that you're not interested in. I know Phantom Freakout was kind of stupid with that whole, what was it, the song where it's like, oh yeah, like it was like 12 is midnight, and, you know, it was like a K-pop thing. And this song was basically saying like, oh yeah, don't be judgmental about how music sounds. You can find something that you like. Most of the time, whenever people are judgmental about music, it's usually because they don't like said music. So basically, you're basically saying to people, hey, if you don't like it, keep listening to something you don't like. I don't know, that was a really, really weird moral. Like I said, it's a dud. There you go. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect show at all. It's just, there's a few duds here and there. But definitely much less than the Loud House, I would say. Like, as much as Season 5 was pretty good for the Loud House, I would say Season 6 has been that kind of downward spiral where it's like, I mean, we're getting there, but we're not, you know? I guess it's safe to say that Season 5, it's like having a hangover. Like, the Season 5 hangover is here. Like, after what Season 5 was, with them going to middle school and a new exciting adventure, now we're in the hangover phase of Season 6. And I'm sure it's going to go back up with Season 7, and then probably back down with Season 8. If there is a Season 8, which there probably will be. Unless the live action, the really Loud House, really, really takes off and becomes better than the actual show, and the Nick execs realize that maybe that should be the future of the Loud House, which I hope it isn't. I really hope not, because I am not watching that. I am not watching it. You can't make me. I still haven't forgotten about the Clyde voice. He was in Phantom Freakout. I was about to freak Okay, but anyways, Casagrandes. Yeah, so good show. I'm sorry. Sorry, I got really, really sidetracked there. But yeah, Casagrandes. A great show. I'm gonna miss it. Obviously, of course, the emotional ties. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna be like that. But I will say it is quite a shame because I do think that there were some things in that show. I mean, I already just mentioned the silent fight episode with the whole thing, even the Jerry laugh reference from like Tom and Jerry, where like Carl's laughing at CJ and it's like that was really great. That's what I'm saying, man. This show had some good gags. This show had some really good gags. There was some fun stuff in this. I'm hoping what's gonna happen is maybe once these people get away from doing Casagrandes, maybe they come back to the Loud House, and maybe, oh maybe, they can kind of right a little bit of that ship that the Loud House has kind of been sinking on for a little bit, probably about a year or so, at least for me. Because a lot of the reasons why the Casagrandes was good was, let's be honest, because a lot of the people from Season 1, Season 2 Loud House moved on to Casagrandes to work on that spinoff. I'm gonna go and go because it's 3 a.m. I'm not kidding, it's actually 3 a.m. I'm talking about Casagrandes at 3 a.m. Please help me. What have I done with my life? Anyways. But yeah, wonderful show. Rest in peace to the boy known as Carluccia, aka the man, the myth, the legend, Carl Casagrande. I hope he lives on in Loud House lore, even though he's probably just going to be sidelined and he's probably never ever going to get an episode or anything like that. I'm not expecting that. That's not going to happen. Yes, there's going to be a crossover, but it's not going to be the same, guys. It's not going to be the same. You're not going to get that anymore. Like, I hate to be that guy, but, like, what are they going to do with the Loud House? What are they going to do? They're not going to make a Carl-centric episode. They're not going to make a Sid-centric episode. Why would they? Alright, well, back to mediocrity, aka the Loud House. It's not that bad, but decent, average, mediocre, somewhat bad. Oh, please come back, Casagrandes. Please, please, please come back, please. Alright, anyways, guys, I'll go and see you guys soon. Take care, everyone.